Hello, dear friends. There is always an expansion whenever someone experiences something that brings them to their knees. Opinion piece. Chosen, glory, or martyrdom? The funny part is now, it's not as much as it seems. The price of enlightenment. Heaven and hell on earth. Let's start. I have always been allergic to the word elect because it has been abused in religion and because it has been used as a sign of superiority, but it could be of inferiority, because the fate of some chosen ones is not worthy to imbibe but of fear. That's why Salvador Freixedo said, "Don't let them elect me, they will blow me up." If life has treated you with excessive cruelty to the point of placing you on the verge of despair, and you don't quite understand why that happens to you, I'm going to reveal a discovery to you. You are not an outcast, but a chosen one, even if you find it hard to believe it. The universe has put extreme pressure on you to wake up and help many people in need, your soul family. When you complain about your problems, you realize that they are minor problems compared to the deep problems suffered by millions of people who are waiting for someone to guide them and open the way for them. You have no idea how bad people are and how needy they are for help when they ask for it. Help does not consist of giving away a fish, but rather teaching how to fish, although in extreme cases you have to give them away while they recover their ability to fish. Frying. Many of us are fried and toasted from so much suffering, until there comes a time when the suffering from using it so much is spent, just like human love, and we enter a phase of serenity that seems more like tiredness and fed up with life. When life has stripped you of all your attachments and you have nothing left to hold on to, when you can no longer stand yourself, you enter a phase of deep peace, which may be accompanied by a blessing of tears or relief and comfort, and you begin to feel a tingling through your body that is not sexual, but the play of the Mother Kundalini, called the snake of magical powers. This is the gateway to the safe state of presence called the breath of presence, which is a permanent and alterable serene consciousness that flows from the heart and accompanies you day and night. The only way to maintain that state of grace is not get upset with anything through the practice of maximum detachment. In that inspired state of serenity, you know what you have to do and say at all times, and you are always right. You are not only a blessing to yourself, but to everyone around you. Welcome to the club of all Buddhas and saints who have left the matrix and can no longer be parasitized by any being of darkness. The price to achieve this state of bliss is so high that if we knew it beforehand, we would refuse to travel the path. But the price is worth it because of its infinite value. We all admire the great teachers, but we do not know the high price they had to pay to achieve it. We can do our best, but not everything depends on individual effort, but rather it is something that comes from above. It is called divine grace. To earn it, it is necessary to have a pure motivation because you cannot deceive God. That is why mystics become supplicants for divine grace. Pure motivation. The only pure motivation for the science of life extension is to live longer to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all beings. All the advanced civilizations of the universe are long lived like Methuselah and like our antediluvian grandparents. This allows them to obtain great wisdom and achieve enlightenment. But the life of the current human beings is so short that you slap it when you start to learn about life, and then be born again with your memory erased. This is a practical joke, to say the least. A villainy imposed by our controllers to permanently trap us in the wheel of samsara. But the game is thankfully beginning to change. Surely, everyone will ask me the $1,000,000 question if I have achieved it. Not totally, but I am in it, because journalism is a neurotic profession. The search for news generates anxiety, and some news upsets or angers you. It is my profession to survive in the material world, but it is also my life mission. But nothing lasts forever, and I hope to have free time in the future to retire and dedicate myself to the cultivation of the spirit. If I had achieved it, I would not talk so much, because he who knows does not speak, and he who speaks does not know, as Lao Tzu said. At the moment, the only thing we know for sure is that they are frying us everywhere, like breakfast toast, or they are cooking us like chickpeas to make us tender. As the Sufi master said, we are fried by solar flares, the Schumann resonance, the antennas, the electronic devices, our neighbor's Wi Fi, and sometimes we fry ourselves to get rid of parasites. And in the end, we are as fried as the pork rinds they sell as an appetizer. I have come to the conclusion that there are many people who are in the fifth dimension and have not yet realized it, because it would be as simple and natural as living in a state of harmony and not getting upset by anything. It is something that children and pets without ego know how to do very well instinctively. Instinctively. But it seems very complicated to adults because we have strayed too far from the path. Therefore, if you want a recipe, my advice is this: consider that the biggest or the highest priority in life, apart from surviving, is to live without stress, in a state of peace and harmony, without getting upset with anything. I know this is difficult in some jobs or when you have to raise a family, but, but serenity is priceless because it is the most valuable treasure in life. Jumps. You are taking consciousness to where it has never been before, and yet sometimes it feels like you are treading, struggling, and barely surviving in your life. That's all part of taking consciousness where it's never been before, and recognize yourselves for being the pioneers, for being the ones who are brave enough to do it, says the Andromeda Council through Daniel Scranton. There are many comfortable positions and dimensions in this universe of ours. There are many places you could have gone and many lives you could have lived, and yet you choose yours. You are doing it for the greater good. There is no suffering to suffer. An expansion always occurs whenever someone experiences something that brings them to their knees. Now, some of you are wondering about the wisdom of your decision to incarnate at this time, but it is also the time when you will be able to expand, evolve, and ascend like nowhere else in the universe. Nowhere else is that unique feeling available for souls to embody and have those experiences. Rejoice in your decision and be proud of yourselves, because now comes the time when you will be able to reap the fruit of your labor. The funny part. Now you will be able to experience the funny part, and it will start to be rewarding as soon as you believe that it is possible for your life to be fun, given where you are now. Where you are now isn't as bad as you might imagine, but you have to put in a little effort. Focus on the bright side, and you have to put on those rose colored glasses because it is up to you. It is up to you whether you experience heaven or hell on earth because you are the one in charge of your perspective. You are the one in charge of your point of view, and you are the one who gets to vibrate in harmony with those beautiful experiences that you all have available to you right now. And as soon as you align with them, you can have them and you can take those leaps forward in the evolution of consciousness which happen on its own. But you need to be able to experience this place that you are in right now, where there is so much expansion available to you. You wouldn't have the opportunity to experience great, gigantic advances if you adopted one of those comfortable positions in this grand scheme of things we call our universe. We call our universe. Look for those opportunities to follow the flow towards the higher state of consciousness and let go of everything that is preventing you in this moment from being true to your trust self, your whole being. You can achieve it with such a small effort right now, but it will depend on you, what version you experience of planet Earth, of yourselves and others. Take back your power and be the empowered version of yourself that you want moving forward for this moment on. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.